Hey everybody, it's David Bott from Outside Our Bubble, and today I'm coming to you with a quick tip, and that is dealing with water sterilization. Notice what I said, water sterilization. This is done by using ultraviolet light to kill bacteria and viruses. What a better time to be considering this, right? I mean, there's a lot going on in this world in regards to viruses at this point, and this is a project that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I have to give credit to my friend Michael, who did this, and I just been putting it off. I had this in my house, my brick and mortar house. Not only did I have it in my water supply system for sterilization of bacteria and viruses, I also had it in my air duct system of my house for the same reason. And that's because UV, ultraviolet light, is a radiation light that actually will kill viruses and bacteria at the DNA level. So if it comes in contact with it, basically it shatters the DNA structure, breaks it down, and that kills the virus and bacteria, thus making it inert. So right now, that's a really good thing. And I hadn't done this in a while, and let's face it, we all got a lot of time on our hands right now, so I figured I'd get the parts and go ahead and throw it in. I've been wanting to anyways, and so I went ahead and did so. Let me show you what I got going on. As many of you have probably seen in the past, this is our water bay. And our water bay is a little different than a lot. And that's because when the water comes in from the hose reel, I have it plumbed into going across to the other side of the motor coach. On the other side of the motor coach, I have a bay. And in that bay, the water then goes through a sediment filter, then a carbon block filter, and then it goes into a water softener, and then comes back to this side of the coach, and which would then enter the coach for all the different fixtures. Now, for our drinking water, what we would have is we would also have a water purifier. Now, so all the water gets filtered and softened and everything before it's used. But for our drinking water, it goes through a water purifier. A water purifier is basically when you buy bottled water, if you read the label, it actually says one of two things: processed by water purification or processed by reverse osmosis. Water purification is what we do, and we're doing it locally in the coach, removing all the bad stuff using a special filtration system. And we have a special tap at our sink for our drinking water, and that is also plumbed to our refrigerator for ice and for cold water. Now, reverse osmosis is another cleaning system for your water, obviously. And the interesting thing about reverse osmosis is when you buy bottled water that says processed by reverse osmosis, that takes all the minerals out of the water. And they actually have to put minerals back in to give it some flavor. Kind of weird, huh? But in any case, what I'm doing now is going one step further. And before the water enters the coach, I'm running it all through a UV light. Basically an ultraviolet radiation light that kills viruses and bacteria at the DNA level. And how does that work? Simple. Basically, you need a 110 outlet, and anything I think from at least on Tiffin coaches, a 215 on do have an outlet in the wet bay. I just ran electric from the other side of the coach to get power here. And this water sanitizer is an ultraviolet light, which basically the water enters into the chamber, fills the chamber, comes out of the chamber, and inside of here is a light bulb, the UV light, which is killing the viruses and bacteria. Now, UV light is not something you can look at without safety glasses because it is destructive to your eyes. Your eyes cannot process it, and it will basically kind of blind you. So I'm just going to basically show you on the end here that it is running right here, and I'm not going to look at it. That's the UV light right there. And that is not coming out on me, or no water or anything is coming out because it's inside of a quartz tube that is inside of here. So basically, and then I have a label right here telling me when I installed it, March 26th. That's because it has a lifespan of about 1 year, and then you have to change it. This particular kit that I bought from Amazon, off of Amazon, comes with 2 more UV bulbs, and it also comes with an extra quartz tube that the bulb goes inside the chamber. So that's kind of nice. So basically, if you have a Tiffin coach, you probably have a water filter right here normally. And so what you have is this would be your water in. It would then go into the filter, and then it would go water out and go through this hole here, going back into the coach. And that feeds your entire coach normally. Okay, so simply all you need to do in order to install one of these is, And I have in the description, I have a link to the product and all the different parts you may need to do this little project. So basically, you want to go on the outside, the out port of the water filter. So you come water filter out, cut the tube, put a 90-degree PEX fitting in. I actually also did a shut-off valve so I can shut the water off, because when you have to clean the tube or drain the water or something, you might as well just shut it off right here instead of having to shut the whole coach down. So I shut it off here, and then basically, so it comes out of the filter, goes to a 90-degree, comes in. This is a 90-degree half-inch finger-type tap, feeds the water in. Another 90-degree finger-type tap coming out, which would then go to another 90-degree fitting here from the cut tube and go right back into the coach. Power it up with enough power, and you're done. You now have water sterilizer running on ultraviolet light, killing bacteria and viruses at the DNA level. Make sense? Well, there you have it. That's a little project I've been working on that I wanted to do. It only literally took me about an hour or so once I got all the parts and knew what I was going to cut, drain some water, what have you, and then just fitted it together. I have links in the video description to the different parts that you may need to do your little project. It will vary based on where you decide to put this. You want to make sure you put this in, however, before the water enters the coach. And you want to do it after the filter, okay? After the filter. So, there you go. Hope this makes sense. I'm Dave Bott from Outside Our Bubble, and this is adding a little bit more protection to your life and your health style, and we can all use a little bit of that right now during this time. Not saying this is going to solve all your issues, but it's going to solve a little bit. Hey, I forgot. I needed to mention something to you about the water and the UV light, and that is how it warms up. Now, this is more so only in the morning time. When you get up in the morning and you come in and you want to, turn the water on and whatever, well, that, even though you have it on cold, that water will come out hot. And it won't be super hot, but it's going to be hot. And the reason is because that water that is sitting inside of that tube is being heated by the ultraviolet light. And so until water passes through and exchanges out, you're going to have hot water coming out of your cold water tap. And I wanted to make you aware of this because I don't want you to think that you screwed up your plumbing somehow by putting this in because the next morning you had hot water when you were expecting cold. So just a little tip. Throughout the day as you use the water, that won't be much of an issue, but it's usually in the morning time only when the water's been heated up overnight that you're going to have hot water in the morning out of the cold tap. You didn't screw up. It's just physics. Hey, if you like what we do, please click subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, keep safe, and we'll see you on the road after all this is over. Bye now. This video was made without touching the keyboard for your protection. Keep safe.